What's on, guys? Just here back to my channel. Tonight we'll be doing a review for AEW Dynamite. I'm sorry, AEW Collision and Rampage, which is already earlier tonight and all that stuff. So then this coming Wednesday will be AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage at the same night, back to back. So yeah, anyways, it'll be a good thing. So he's gonna get to it then and all that stuff. And I know last night before I was super tired making the video for SmackDown and all that stuff. I don't know, you guys, you almost falling asleep on it, but I'm pretty sure y'all don't care. But I'm pretty sure y'all feel bad when I was about to fall asleep. I mean, I was super tired, man. I couldn't keep my eyes open at all. I'm sorry, but um, excuse me, I'm sorry. But anyways, that was it for that discussion. But anyways, just gonna get to it then with the show and all that stuff. With AEW Collision started at almost 7:30 because of the basketball game, and so I thought it was gonna be at 7:30 or 7:40 something because of the basketball game, but it started like around like 7:25 or something. All that stuff. I was like, oh shoot, because they were showing the highlight thing from this past which was last weekend for AEW AEW pay per view Dynasty. But I didn't expect for it to show, Collision, the logo on top of the board screen thing. But I was like, oh shit! So I just hurry up and get ready, So yeah. Anyways, let's go and get to it then. All right. Short Strickland's theme hits, and out he comes, led by Prince Nana doing his goofy ass, but always super funny dance routine. The two head to the ring as advertised to kick off the sweet show with Swerve's first promo since capturing the AEW World Championship at AEW Dynasty this past weekend. Come on. The new AEW World Champion sells in the ring and is given a big introduction by Prince Nana before speaking. He starts off by talking about how it's been an eventful week in AEW. He mentions some of the title changes that have taken place this week, and then brings up history. Bring up his victory over Kyle Fletcher on AEW Dynamite earlier this week. Strickland then brings up the Elite and the return of Jack Perry. He talks about their attack of AEW President Tony Khan earlier this week. He says they did their pile driver, mocking the fact that it changed from the Meltzer driver to the Tony Khan driver, and others in between. He says 4 elite athletes attacking a non-fighter sounds like a bitch move to him. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It is. Finally, he gets down to the business at hand with AEW Collision live this evening. He says it feels like as good a time as any to have his second match in Jacksonville this week. He issues an open challenge to anyone in the back. Claudio Castagnoli's theme hits, and out he comes. He gets Swerve's face in the ring. He accepts the challenge. The match is made for later tonight. Alright, I had a medical update on AEW President Tony Khan and all that stuff. The camera pans over to Giovanni and Nigel McGuinness at the commentary desk. Giovanni brings up the Elite's attack of Tony Khan this past Wednesday. He provides a medical update on the AEW President as advertised heading into tonight's show. Giovanni says Khan is still in a neck brace as we saw on the NFL draft, but says doctors have said he cannot travel. As a result, he will not be able to leave Jacksonville, but will be running AEW from a remote location when they go back on the road starting next week Wednesday with AEW Dynamite at the Canadian Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Hope I said Manitoba, Canada, Manitoba right. All right, I had the first match coming up finally. Bullet Club versus Bullet Club Go, who are the champions, versus Action Andretti and Top Flight. After the medical update on Tony Khan from Giovanni McGuinness wraps up, we head back inside inside Dave's Place, where we hear the familiar sounds of the theme music of Bullet Club Go. Out comes the Bang Bang Gang trio of Switchblade, Jay White, and the Guns. Austin and Colton Gunn, the unified AEW Trios champions, head to the ring for their first title defense since unifying the ROH 6-man tag team championships with the AEW Trios championships at AEW Dynasty 2024 this past weekend. From there, the theme for their opponents hits, and out comes the three-man squad of Action Andretti and the top flight duo of Dante and Darius Martin. JY and Dante Martin kick things off for their respective teams as Shivani points out how Wyatt demanded this match on social media into the show this evening. Wyatt starts off well, but Martin brings the fight to him and keeps it competitive. Gunn tags in and he sails into the early offensive lead. He tags in and his brother, who picks up where he left off as fans chant "Ass boys." As the action continues, we shift gears and head into a mid-match commercial break. When we return from the break, we see some more back-and-forth action, including a near fall on a 310 to Yuma from the Guns. In the end, however, White connects with his Blade Runner finisher for the pinfall victory with the win. The Bang Bang Gang retains their unified trios championships at the match. We head to another commercial break. So the winners and still unified AEW trios champions, Bullet Club Gold. Alright, next match is Rey Fenix versus the Beast Mordos. This is the second match. When we return from the break, we see a message from the House of Black. Brody King gloats about having 2 wins over the TNT champion after the trios match at AEW Dynasty 2024. Malachi Black goes on to talk about Am Copeland's Cope Open Challenge, which he says he accepts. He points out, however, that Copeland will have to wait to see which member of the House of Black will be representing them when the time comes. Back inside Dave's place, when we return to the premiere sounds of the Lucha Bros theme music, and out comes the returning Rey Fenix, accompanied by Alex Abrahantes. This was a good match. I enjoyed this match. It was back and forth. Excuse me. He sells in the ring and his music dies on. The theme for his opponent, the Beast Mortals, hits, and out he comes for our next match of the evening. The bell sounds and off we go. Early on, Phoenix does as well, using his speed and quickness to control the early action until eventually the bigger, stronger Beast Mortals starts to take over the fight. Spill outside of the ring where Mortals continues to punish Phoenix at ringside. Back in the ring, Mortals starts to tear at the mask of Phoenix, trying to rip it off. Excuse me, I'm sorry guys. Phoenix avoids this, but Mortals is still controlling the offensive as we head to mid-match commercial break. As the action continues, as we sail back in from the break, we see Mortals is still beating down Phoenix. However, the man who is one half of the Lucha Bros start to come to life and fight back into competitive form. Phoenix starts to fire up with his trademark wild high-flying offensive attack, including a wild 10-yard splash off the top rope to the floor, leading up to his pinfall victory. So the winner is Rey Fenix. Next match is the third match, Rouge versus Martin Stone. We are shown video package promoting tonight's AEW Rampage main event, which is a parking lot fight between former best friends, tag team partners turned enemies Trembera Troy Taylor. After the package wraps up, we see Lexi Nair backstage with Orange Cassidy, who is concerned by what they are going to do to each other tonight. As he continues to talk, he's cut up by Chris Stanley, who enters the scene. She simply tells him, hey, he needs us. Let's go. And Cassidy stops in mid-sentence and walks off with her. Alright, once the casting package wraps up, we return inside Dave's place, where the theme for Rouge hits. Out he comes to make his AEW in-ring return, already in the ring, and his opponent for tonight, Martin Stone. The bell sounded for sure in this one, and I'm kind of waiting on why I'm still yawning. Rouge is competing in his first match since last December, where he last wrestled in the AEW Continental Crown Tournament. He takes the early offensive lead, where he takes Martin out to the ringside and brutalizes him. Back inside the ring, we see Rouge hit a few more trademark spots before finishing Martin off for a quick victory. After the match wraps up, Rouge celebrates and then exits the ring. He begins heading to the bag and stops and re-enters the ring. He goes to work on Martin. Some more finishing off the post-match scene by hitting him with his finisher once again. He lays down in the ring and does his pose as we head to another commercial break. Winner is Rouge. Alright, next match is Thomas Tony Storm versus Anna Jay. When we return from the break, we see Lexi and Eric speaking with Serena Deeb. Deeb talks about her return appearance earlier this week and how she has done a lot in her career. But one thing she hasn't done yet is win the AEW Women's World Championship. She says this isn't a movie. Back in SI Days plays out comes someone who doesn't seem to know that this isn't a movie. The old school movie star herself, reigning AEW Women's World Champion Thomas Twin Storm. She makes her way to the ring, in black and white as always, accompanied by Luther, the Butler, and Mariah May. Anna Jay theme hits, and next out she comes to square off against the champ after losing her cool with Mariah May. After the match recently, the bell sounds and we're fresh off running with this one. We see Anna Jay doing well early on as the commentators point out the mean look she has on her face. Storm fights back with the Luthez press, which McGinnis claims she learned from Luthez himself. Nice. Storm holds onto Jay and does a whip swivel dance before blasting Jay in the face with her buttocks. Mariah May ends up getting bumped off the apron. Storm makes sure she's okay and heads into the ring, but Jay sends her back out to the floor in vicious fashion as Mariah May runs out to check on Storm as she laid out on the floor outside of the ring, which she gears ahead to a mid-match commercial break as the match continues. We're back from the break. We see the match still in progress. Jay ends up slapping her Queen Slayer choke finisher on the champ, who is stuck in the hold in the middle of the ring and fading fast. May rallies behind her, pounding the mat at ringside as Storm stands up and falls back, slamming Jay into the mat and freeing herself. She hits a hip attack and a Storm Zero for the win. So the winner is Thomas Twin Storm. Alright, next match is the Grizzled Young Veterans versus the Acclaim. It's time for our AEW in-ring debut of an internationally proven tag team. The Grizzled Young Veterans duo James Drake and Zach Gibbons. But first, we see a shot of the parking lot with cars in a big circle and their headlights on. Shafani and McGinnis promote the parking lot between the Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor for AEW Rampage, which is coming up next on TNT after AEW Collision wraps up. We shoot backstage in order to catch up with Chuck Taylor. Taylor is seated in a chair, taping his wrist and getting ready for the big fight against his former friend and tag team partner turned enemy. Cassie brings Chuck's dog with him and hands it to Chuck. He tells Cassie he's glad he ran into him. He tells him no matter what happens out there, he doesn't want him to get involved. We head to another commercial break after this wraps up. When we return, we shoot right to the ring entrance of the Grizzled Young Veterans. Drake and Gibson head to the ring as McGinnis bails them up on commentary. Drake and Gibson settle inside the square circle and their music dies down. The theme for the Acclaim hits, and now comes Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, accompanied by Daddy Ass Billy Gunn. Caster does his usual freestyle rap as the team heads to the ring. Caster rhymes about Tony Khan getting spiked on his head and how they gonna beat them and send Grizzle Young Versions back to the Impact Zone. Bowens wraps up the intro routine with his scissor me daddy ass stuff, and then the bell sounds against one person stuff. Anyways, kicking things off for the respective teams are Gibson and Caster. We see more back and forth action before Gibson and Drake settle into a prolonged offensive lead where they get to showcase a lot of their double team moves. We head to a mid-match commercial break with the newcomers still in control of things. Oh shit. As we settle back in from the mid-match advertising timeout, we see the Grizzled Young Vets still very much dominating things until finally they claim make the much-needed hot tag. Bones fires up on a fence and helps shift things into their favor, and the duo finish things off with the mic drop for the pinfall victory. So winners are the Acclaimed. Alright, main event time coming up is AEW World Championship Open Challenge. Swerve Strickland, who is a champion, versus Claudio Castagnoli. It's main event time. But first, we see footage of Shane Taylor Promotions' recent attack on Kazuri Shibata. We then shoot backstage to Lexington, who is standing by with Shibata, who talks via his phone application about being ready to take them on by himself. Tonight, walks Garcia, who says they had their battles in the past. Garcia tells Shabbat he respects him, and if he wants to, he will stand by his side and fight Shane Taylor Promotions with him tonight, so he doesn't have to go it alone. The bout seems for AEW Rampage coming up next. Back inside the Daily Place, we hear familiar sounds of Kyle Casanoli's entrance theme. Outcomes the Blackpool Combat Club member for our main event of the evening on this week's AEW Collision, which is the opening challenge that was set up earlier tonight for the AEW World Championship. Casanoli settles inside the square circle, and his entrance tune wraps up. Now the catching theme for our champion plays Outcomes Prince out for an encore performance of goofy ass but always super entertaining dance. This leads to uh, the reigning and defending AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland emerging as the two head down to the ring together. Fans loudly do the Who's House, Swerve's House call and response routine. The bell sounds over from this one. Tony Schiavone informed us that it will be Buddy Matthews representing the House of Black against Adam Copeland in the latest Cope Open Challenge for the TNT Championship. Speaking of Open Challenge, we see Swerve Strickland taking it to Castaway in the early goings of the Open Challenge showdown for the AEW World Championship. The commentators sing the praises of Swerve for showcasing his ability to the match strength of Castaway, which, as they point out, is a rare thing to see them from anyone in the ring with a BCC member. Swerve hits a big spot and goes for the cover, but only gets two. After surviving the near fall attempt, Casanova starts to fight back, and to compare for Claudio starts to take over, hitting Swerve with a big kick on the hard part of the ring apron, outside of the ring ropes. From the floor, Casanova military presses Swerve off the apron and launches him into the elevated staging area near the entrance inside Daly's place. He picks him up and slams him into it again. After we shift gears into my next commercial break, when we return, we see some more intense back and forth action building to the finish. Swerve goes for a top rope stomp, but lands feet first on the shoulders of Casanova, who is one swift motion launches Swerve back into the air, and where he catches him on the way down with the European uppercut. That was complete insanity. Swerve kicks out of the subsequent pin attempt and starts to fight back, but Casanova counters once again, and this time gets the AEW World Champion in the big swing. Swerve fights back afterwards and hits a Swerve Stomp successfully this time before following up with the House of call for the pinfall victory extended match. The two shake hands, and afterwards, Collision wraps up. And that note, thanks for joining us. So winner and still AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland. So that was a good show tonight and stuff. Well, earlier, but anyways, that was good and stuff. We're going ahead and do a Rampage after this, and I see you all in the next video. Laters.